companies and things like that because of the revenue that they receive every single month. And with the photo booth business, it's a lot difficult to achieve recurring revenue. But if you have partnerships in place with wedding planners and event coordinators and venues and other places like that, you can create recurring revenue for your photo booth business. So who am I and why should you listen to me? As Josh said, I have owned 7 different companies. I've earned everything from a bowling supplement company, which is I created the first bowling sports supplement, to I owned a journal company. I've owned a lingerie e-commerce store. I've owned all kinds of businesses, and by far, the best business I've ever owned has been a photo booth business. I started in 2015. I was at a photo booth. I was at a wedding, one of my best friend's wedding, and I saw this line. And I thought it was for the bar, to be honest. And it was wrapped around the whole place and going almost outside. And I was like, what are they doing? And I saw that they were taking pictures in a photo booth. It's like I've seen this before, but I didn't realize how big this was. And so that kind of got my wheels thinking. You know, I've always owned businesses and things like that. So I was like, this seems like something that I could really make work. And so I did some research. I found Josh. I used to go to his office just, you know, probably multiple times a month. I think the first time I got there, he thought I was the delivery guy. I just knocked on the door and just really soaked up the information from Photo Booth International and just like, oh, this is something I definitely know that I can do. And since then, I've done $750,000 plus in booth rentals, and that's again as a side business. And you know, as the years have gone by, you know, every year I'm increasing it in revenue. I've done 1,200 plus events. I would say that I've done about 20% of those events myself. And so I know that later on you're going to hear about, you know, outsourcing, you know, how to leverage other people and things like that. And so I've definitely, you know, put some processes in place to be able to do that and have it as a side business while I run other businesses or have a job and things like that. I definitely could scale even more and have the business be, you know, maybe even close to a 7-figure business by itself. And I think the best way that I'm going to do this moving forward will be what I'm going to talk with you about today. They keep getting it wrong. They say I have 7 photo booths. I actually have 9. I have 7 regular photo booths and I have 2 360s. So I guess I really do have 7 photo booths, but also have 2 video booths. And then like Josh said, was saying earlier, you know, I have a business degree, so I know a little bit about business. So, you know, that kind of helped along, but it doesn't matter. You know, if you never even finished high school, you know, this business, especially utilizing the skills that you're going to learn today from all the different speakers, especially this networking with other companies, will help you be successful in your photo booth business. And as you saw earlier, you know, I was the first ever Photo Booth International Diamond 6-figure award recipient. You know, Josh made me send screenshots, printouts of how much money I made, so he can truly say, you know, this guy has done it. And so, you know, I kind of know a little bit of what's going on in the booth business. And so I'm definitely excited to share that information with you today. Okay, couple questions for you. So imagine having 10, 15, 20 companies sending you at least 4 to 5 events every single year. Let's just say, let's say it's 10, they're sending between 4 and 5. So let's say that's 45 events sent to you every year. No upfront costs, no Facebook ads ran, no commercials, billboards, whatever you're doing to get business, just free, basically free money that's being sent to you. How would that change your business? You know, what could you do with that amount of money? And then, like I said before, you can scale as much as you want. You can have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 companies, 100 companies sending you business without any upfront money. And so we'll talk about that more. But just think about what that could do for your business and what you could do with that kind of money. So why network with other companies? So I went to a conference and they talked with a guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. His name is Brian Lee. Brian Lee has started companies like LegalZoom, Shoe Dazzle with Kim Kardashian. He started the Honest Company with Jessica Alba. Those are just a couple of the companies that he started. And what he does is he finds people, influencers, people that have huge followings, people that already have customers, and he's able to quickly make billion-dollar companies. They asked him a question. They said, "Hey, so all you do is partner with people who already have customers, clients, followers, to create these huge businesses?" And he said, "Yeah. Is there any other way?" And so just thinking about that and thinking about the fact that he's been able to create multiple billion-dollar companies just by helping leverage other companies, and had this idea of what I call collaborations versus competition. He was able to create these companies. So with collaboration versus competition, it's all about a mindset. I know that Josh talked about this earlier. You want to have this abundance mentality, not one of scarcity. So there are so many companies out there, so much money to be made in this business. I mean, there are thousands of companies in my market. I haven't heard of probably 98% of them. That's how large the business is. I'm sure a lot of them have never even heard of me. Probably most of them have never heard of me. And I do, several hundred events every single year now. So if you have that mindset that, hey, I'm going to work with other people, I'm going to collaborate with other people, I'm going to network with other people, that's just going to help continually grow your business. Another reason this collaboration works and networking with other companies is additional income just on top of what you're already making, what you're doing with Facebook ads, Google ads, we're running TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, referrals that you're already getting from people that you're meeting out, returning customers, anything that you're doing already. This is going to be additional for you because it just comes in and you don't even realize where it's coming from, or it just pops up out of nowhere. I had two women who started their company, their event planning business, and within the first probably 3 months of them starting it, they had sent me seven events, and I just got lucky that I met them, and they were starting their business, and they knew they were very well connected. And so I was able to get 7 events in 3 months from them just by meeting them and saying, "Hey, I have a photo booth business. I'd love to partner with you. How can we make this work?" And so you can see just even off that one partnership, how lucrative this can really be by connecting with other vendors. And then there's the law of reciprocity. So, and this happened to me yesterday. I went to my son's basketball game. I'm opening up the door and letting some people in as we're walking into the field house. I'm walking in, I open the door for them, and then of course the dad in the next set of doors opens up the door for me. So that's just you can call it law of reciprocity, you can call it karma, you can call it things coming back around. When you work with people and you help them out, they're going to come back and help you out as well. And so, that's kind of one of the biggest things that I've found over the last almost 7 years, is that when I've helped other companies out or been someone that they can use as a resource, they've always helped me out as well and been there when I needed them for a last minute event or whatever it was. So who are some of these vendors? I think one of the biggest ones is other photo booth companies. Ursula talked earlier. She was talking about when she had called and wanted somebody to white label. White labeling is a very, very good way to increase your business. And there's multiple ways when you're dealing with other photo booth companies to kind of leverage them and use them to be able to do more business. I have someone that I use for 360 booths whenever I don't have any. I literally just send her a Facebook Messenger. I've only met her twice. I send her a Facebook Messenger and said, hey, are you available on this day at this time? She charges a lot less than I do. But she actually provides a really good service. And I've even told her, you need to increase your prices, you need to increase your prices. And she hasn't, but I benefit from it because I can pay her her normal prices and still make even more than her with her photo booth, which is pretty cool. Someday she's gonna listen to me and increase her prices, and then I'll make less per event. But it's just, it works for us. Or you can just take a commission. So I've become really good at doing Google ads. We don't even run Facebook ads right now because we're so busy that it's hard to, I need more booths and more people and to be able to do it. And so, the ads that we're running right now, if we're booked, I will call another photo booth customer and another photo booth company and say, hey, are you available on this day? And then I'll take a commission from it. And then I'll set it all up on my end. Again, depending on how you have, what kind of relationship you have with them, on if you want to have them do it under your company, if you want them to handle all of it. But, again, this is a great way to work with other photo booth companies. So you have DJs, photographers, videographers, wedding planners, event coordinators. That's actually who has helped me grow my business probably even more than anyone is event coordinators. So working with people that do events, whether it's weddings or private parties. And I'll talk to you in a second about kind of figuring out what it is that they want. There's a few things that they usually want when it comes to partnering with them, but they've helped the most with increasing my business. Corporate planners, administrators, like the admin. I've talked to hundreds of admins that told me, hey, I'm calling to rent a photo booth. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm in charge of this, and so can you help me out? HR, marketing, event centers and venues. We will talk specifically about them here in a little bit. Caterers, cake decorators, face painters, florists, balloon artists, people that bring snow cones and popcorn. You guys will hear from Christian in a little bit, who's going to talk about sales. He told me that he has a guy that makes Mexican corn in a cup that has given him several events. So really, anyone who's involved with events, go up, talk to them. Like Ursula said, give them a good Google review, and just really connect with these people, and then follow up. Being consistent is so big. Ursula says 1 hour a day. I spend at least 2 hours a day at a minimum. I also have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, but we spend a good amount of time making sure that we're reaching out to people, taking care of the business. But if you would do that, just reaching out to vendors, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, the best way to do it, then it's going to really help your business. So how do I find these companies? There are three main ways that I've found these companies. One, connected events. So whether it's an expo, whether it's the actual event that you're at, whether it's an event that you're attending as a guest, go up and talk to them. Say, hey, let it be known that you have a photo booth business, that you're looking to connect, that you are, they're looking for a partnership that can help create a win-win scenario for everyone. Another way is connecting on social media. Instagram, just go and slide in someone's DMs. Say, hey, I'm in the business too. I have a photo booth company. I'd love to, see how we could be value to each other. Just reach out to them and talk to them and see, what it is that you can figure out. LinkedIn for those, especially those corporate people, people that are on the more business to business side. Especially, there'll be photo booth companies on there. There'll be, caterers, videographers, photographers, all that stuff will be on there as well. You can search using like Sales Navigator through LinkedIn, and you can say, hey, I only want to find people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area whose title is event coordinator. And you can send them just a message. Just send a message, ask them to connect. And then once they connect, just don't be weird. Just say, hey, because remember, even though you're talking with a company, you're talking with a person. So you really want to humanize that and say, hey, I'd love to see how we get together and be of value to each other. Um, you know, uh, that's why I'm connecting with you. And you just go from there. Just have a regular conversation with them. Another way, um, I have been slacking on this just because of the time, but and people weren't meeting as much due to COVID. But um, moving forward, I think I'm going to try to leverage this a lot, especially since they're doing a lot of virtual meetings still, is joining event organizations. So you would be one, if not the only one. There's only going to be maybe maybe two or three other photo booth companies um, in these organizations. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of organizations like Meeting Professionals International, Corporate Event Marketing Association, Wedding International Professionals Association. I mean, there's just tons. Just go network that way, because again, if you have 10 people, 20 people sending you 3, 4 deals, even a year, one a quarter. I mean, that could just change your life, especially from a monetary perspective. And so definitely make sure that when you meet someone, you get their business card or their phone number, or make sure you document and put it in your CRM and stay connected, whether you put them on your email list, um, whether you're just reaching out every now and then and saying, hey, just wanted to see how business is going. Um, just follow up and stay consistent, and they will eventually say, oh, okay, hey, I know that guy Kevin has a photo booth business. Whether they have someone's going to mess up at some point. Maybe their photo booth business that they deal with, um, maybe they are booked, or maybe they had a bad experience with them. So um, they're going to say, oh yeah, that guy that always comes to the event meetings. Let me give them a call. And so then from there, you just never know how many events you're going to get from them. Like I said, it could be life changing, as far as having several recurring revenue companies that are sending you business. So how do you get them to partner? Um, I think the main thing is that you got to understand that every partnership is different. Um, you really just want to find out what they want. And what I've found is there's really only two, I guess you can say three, because you can say both, things that people want out of a partnership when you're dealing with, like other companies, or, other photo booth companies, planners, event coordinators, things like that. They want you to, one, take care of their customer, because you are an extension of their business. So um, I've had probably about 98% of people I've connected with that I'm doing events for them, because they're in charge of their coordinators or planners or something like that. All they want us to do is take care of their customer, make sure that there is a good experience, we're providing good product, we're there on time, and we just, again, we make them look like a superstar. That's usually about 98% of the time what they want. Some people will say, well, how much am I going to get paid? So then you just work out, whether it's a kickback or referral fee, whatever you want to call it, for um, a commission for them booking through you. And there's tons of different ways you can do it. I used to have my people actually just go and book. They had their own account and they would go in and just book the event through there. And I knew that that event was for, their client. And so, there would either be like a discounted amount and they would tell them like my normal price. And so they would make the difference, or we had a set price and so they would upcharge them. There's different ways that you can do that. It really just depends on, um, what you guys work out. If that's what they're wanting is a little bit of money, but usually $100, $200, they usually didn't care about that. They really just wanted me to take care of the customer, and then of course both, uh, take care of the customer and they want money. So there's basically those two. I guess you can consider three, and just do what you say you're going to do. I mean, if you want them to continue sending you customers, and they're going to also have tons of other people that they know that are event coordinators or wedding coordinators, and they're going to say, hey, hey, this guy's really good, or this company is really good. You should reach out to them for your next event. Um, and they will be super helpful moving forward and be one of your biggest advocates to even get even more partnerships moving forward. All right, so venues and event centers. We're going to talk about just using venues and event centers to help increase your photo booth business, networking with them. This is actually something that I have not done a very good job of, and there's been venues popping up everywhere. And even my wife, she says, hey, there's this one popping up. You should go talk to them before they even open so that, you're the first photo booth company in there. So obviously, it's a very good compliment to your current your business, because they have events every single week, and so it's going to be helpful for you. Um, and again, every partnership will be different, so you will just have to go and talk with them. Um, I have bring them stuff. So this goes back to my days as outside sales guy. I'd bring them um, company like t-shirts. I had a t-shirt that said selfie consultant and it had our logo on the back. I'd bring them t-shirts, pins, my business card. Brought them donuts, little Starbucks gift cards, things like that, to just know, for them to know that, hey, I'm serious, I'm a real business. I want to do business with you. I want to figure out a way that we can both win doing business. And you want to make sure that you find venues that fit your clientele or style. I mean, if you are doing, you want to do high-end weddings and things like that, we have probably 3 or 4 that just popped up that are very, very expensive, very high end, and they're going to be perfect because they fit with the brand, and kind of more of a luxury style. We're not the cheapest place out there, and so if that's where you're wanting to move, going to venues that kind of match your style. I know one guy who does a bunch of events with like rustic type events like weddings and stuff. So he's partnered with the kind of barn type venues and ones that are out in the country that because it fits his clientele, and that's what he knows. So long-term rentals with venues. I had a venue that I used to work with, and we would do digital only, so no printing, so we didn't have to worry about printing costs. We didn't have to worry about printer jams, things like that. And I actually bought a booth and left it there. And I think it took, because I used it for an event, I think it maybe took 2 months to recoup the cost that I spent on it. I mean, they used it a lot, and basically I charged them a monthly fee plus per event, and they didn't want to deal with learning the software. They didn't want to deal with trying to buy a booth and figure out all that stuff. So they just basically rented it from me. It was very simple to just go and set something up for them. I could actually do it remote, and then have them have them ready for each event. So if you can figure out something with venues as far as long-term rentals, that may be, a play. You got to look and see if the numbers work out, because you also have to include the opportunity cost of that booth not being able to be rented to other people. But like I said, I had several booths at that time, so it didn't matter, because that one specifically was for them. Um, and another reason to partner with venues, event centers, is it's good for the local venues to know who you are in general. Because I had one venue that I went and greeted them, brought them my business card, and then a bride ended up booking me, and a bride ended up booking me, and I was talking to the person in charge, and she said, we were actually gonna use another company, and we were gonna push them to another company, but we saw that it was you, and we know who you are, and you brought it, because I actually bring in my booths when I try to partner uh, with a company or a wedding planner or something like that. I'll bring the booth and set it up and show them, hey, this is this is what it this is what an experience is like. And so, she said she was perfectly fine, didn't, try to sell the other person or anything like that. So it's good just for introductions to go to these venues and just let them know who you are. And so, because, you never know when you may be there doing an event anyway. So, just to kind of summarize everything, so networking with other vendors is powerful, and it can increase your bottom line by tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, without putting any upfront money. And the reason I put upfront and not money, because like we talked about, there could be kickbacks, there could be um, referrals, fees, or whatever it is, but you do not have to put up any money upfront. It would really just be time. Um, and so I think it's probably one of the best ways to grow your photo booth business. And it's a really cool way to scale. I actually run out of money sometimes doing Google ads. Like they can't spend the amount of money that I have set for the day. And so this is a great way to be able to scale the business, is with growing with partners, in addition to being able to scale with ads and things like that. Um, Remember, collaboration versus competition. It's great to have a team of other companies, and for you to come up with a win-win scenario. Just remember that abundance mentality, and not one of scarcity, not one thinking that there's not enough money out there. Oh, there's too many photo booth companies out there. The best thing to do is find who's good, partner with them. They will reach out to you at some point and say, hey, I got this event, or hey, I need an extra booth for this corporate event. Can you be there? It's just a great way to really grow your business. Find these vendors at events, slide in their DMs, hit them up on LinkedIn, uh, social media. LinkedIn, there's a tool called Big Linker that I've used in the past. You can actually set up a whole, basically like a email autoresponder for Big Linker. So you basically can send them an email well, first what it would do is it would request to be their friend. And then once they connected with you on LinkedIn, then you could have some send them a message, and you can say, send this a day after they connect with me, or send this 2 days after they connect with me. So then it's actually doing the work for you. It's selling yourself. You can put links to some of your promo videos, things like that, and then you can see they can respond to it. So you can see when they respond. So if you need to go in and actually type something, say, hey, can you meet for coffee at 3 o'clock on Wednesday? Then it's working in the background for you. And I think you can send, there's a limit that LinkedIn has now, but I think it's a few hundred messages every couple days. So that's a huge tool. You can also type in LinkedIn automation tools and find other ones. Big Linker is kind of expensive. I think it's $79 a month. So it's kind of expensive, but there's cheaper ones. There's Chrome extensions that you can use that do the same thing. Joining event associations and any other places you find event professionals, great way to go meet them. Again, just find out what it is that you guys can do together to be able to have a win-win scenario. Um, and each partnership is going to be different. You just got to find out what works for both of you. Venues, they can be really big for you. They have several events every single week. And just like any other vendors, you just have to have the conversation and figure out what's going to work, for your business, what's going to work for them, and align based on, what's going to be good for you and your company. And I think you've heard this from every single speaker so far, and you're probably going to continue to hear it. Be consistent. Ursula said an hour a day, whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure you're doing something every single day. And then just look up 30 days from now, 60 days from now, and see what that's done for your business. You're basically just reaching out to people and telling them about your business and what can you do to help make them successful. Everyone, when you reach out to them, people want to know what's in it for them, how you can help them. So you really want to talk about how you can help them and not make it about you, but make it about them. And just have fun. I mean, it's like a big virtual party where you're reaching out and trying to figure out ways to think about it. I almost think about it like a game. Like, hey, if I have 20 people that are sending me 4 events a year, that's 80 events. Like that's that's a good amount of money that you could have. And so just remember to be consistent and then have fun with it. This is actually one of my favorite quotes is by Picasso. It says, "Action is the foundational key to all success." So again, it just goes back to just being consistent, taking action, because it is what will help your photo booth business succeed. I think that you're going to be told no, or I have somebody. If you stay consistent and stay reaching out to them, you never know when something's gonna pop where you can help them, and then you may have a partner for life. So is there any questions in the chat or any questions that anyone has for me?
Kevin, there was one question where someone asked, what is white labeling exactly?
Yeah, so white label is where you get another company to go and do a photo booth for you, typically under your name. So I've done white labeling for other people, meaning I had to put their name on the photo strip, or act like I was an extension of their company. And then there's been where I've had other people white label for me, where I actually made the template, had my website on the bottom, and I sent it over to them, and they actually did the event for me. Now there's two I guess schools of thought on that, on how you charge. I know some people charge more if you do white labeling for them. Some people charge less. So you really got to figure out, again, what works best. People charge more for, if I had somebody and I said, hey, I'm going to charge you more than I normally charge for white labeling, it's because I'm not going to be able to get more events. I'm not going to be able to get referrals. I'm not going to be able to put my website on there. I'm not going to be able to link to my social media. So I'm losing out on potential customers, so they charge more. And then obviously there's people that charge less because it's an event that they wouldn't have had from before. And so they're like, oh, well, I have several booths, one sitting there anyway, I might as well go and do it. And if it's as long as it's not some undervalue or way less than what you normally charge, then they'll do it. So that's what white labeling is, basically doing events for other people under their name.
Thank you, Kevin. Does that answer your question, Dwayne? We actually had